What's up, guys? Welcome back to One Beat Vlog. Sorry we didn't post last week. We had an event that took place, a girls' night and a guys' night, and there were things for a hot dog eating contest and everything else that had to be done. So time got the best of me, didn't get to post, but I wanted to post today to talk to you about relatability, how well you relate to your students. And what I mean by that is our students are in a different culture than we grew up in. Whether you're 50 or whether you're 24 like I am, there's a whole different atmosphere and world out there than what there was. No one had ever heard of Katniss Everdeen and the Hunger Games, but now that is the big thing, brought in tons of money. Alicia and I went and saw the opening night at midnight and saw some students there, saw people from our church there. But the thing is, our students are learning about things at a more rapid pace than we ever did. And I wanted to talk to you guys about relating with your students when you speak to them. See, the fact of the matter is, if you're like me, I speak weekly to our students, if not more. I have an accountability session on Tuesday mornings with some guys, and I also teach on Sunday nights. And so there's a lot of opportunities for me to speak truth into our students' lives. And while I want them to walk away with a point or a message, a lot of times when we hear things, it goes in one ear and right out the other. We don't even take a second thought to think on those things because it just didn't relate to us. It didn't connect to us. So whether that's something, for me, I just don't remember a lot of things as far as the Minnesota Vikings are concerned. I love football, but I'm a Packers fan. So when I hear Packers, I remember stuff. And I was very, very excited by the free agent pickups of Justin Hargrove and Jeff Saturday this week. If you don't know anything about that, probably doesn't relate to you, but it meant something to me. And so we need to connect our students with the truth of the gospel through some type of common ground. So, like I said, I have read all the Hunger Games books. I really do enjoy them. I didn't read them for research. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with I had heard a lot about it and wanted to read it for myself. But the fact of the matter is we need to be relating stuff. So if I can take the Hunger Games and relate it to spiritual truth in a way that our students will connect with, that's awesome. But never stretch the truth to make it fit the Hunger Games, okay? I'll be very clear about that. But the fact of the matter is I tell a lot of stories when I teach. A lot of stories about my life, whether that's me not being the best physical athlete. This week we're talking about endurance in youth group, and I was never one for much endurance, and I've told you guys about how I'm doing this triathlon, and that's something I have to build up to. So I tell a lot of football stories. I tell a lot of football stories about professional football, which I have never been a part of, but that's something that means something to me and hopefully will mean something to our students. I also use a lot of videos when I teach. I'm a YouTube fanatic. I follow a lot of different people, watch a lot of different things. ESPN posts a lot of clips. I follow people like Sam Shuey, Christina Grimmie, Rhett and Link, different people that I like either their music or their videos. And so the thing is, if we can tie in videos that our students may remember, then maybe that'll make a piece of truth to remember. For example, one message I will never forget is when a campus pastor from Liberty University, Johnny Moore, spoke about the organ. And he had a old organ on stage that as he was talking about our hearts and how our hearts get beat up and how we need to protect our hearts. And at that time I was single and kind of burned from a relationship. And he started destroying this heart, taking keys off, doing different things like that, basically to talk about how we put ourselves through the ringer emotionally. We start to destroy our heart. And that meant something to me. That stuck with me. I'll never forget that. I'll also never forget him failing to be able to break certain things, and he said he was weak. But the fact of the matter is he used that organ as a way to tie a spiritual truth to me. So how can you be doing that in your lessons? I'm not telling you to be someone you're not. I'm not telling you, if you're not a big storyteller, I'm not telling you you need to tell stories all the time. But the fact of the matter is, if you're telling a message and it's not getting through to anyone, you've got to think of a way to connect the truth, which is vitally important, to our students' lives. Sometimes we need to look at our methods and say, what can I change? So challenge yourself to connect truth and relate it to where our students are at. You will be infinitely more effective if your students understand where you're coming from. I want you to be as effective in your ministry as possible, because then we can reach a greater crowd. That's the whole heart behind One Beat, is helping youth pastors and youth workers to be more effective in their area of influence and ministry. See you guys later. Peace.